Hey friends, let's get out our paints and our sketchbooks and paint some festive watercolor trees. I'm going to choose a little bit of a different brush today. Let's do this dagger brush that I haven't used in a while, and let's find a beautiful 2-page spray to paint some trees. If you watched the last video, you'll see that we did this page of trees and it was super fun to do. So now that we're getting into the Christmas festive spirit, let's do some Christmas trees. Here is the beautiful palette. I still have the greens available, and oops, forgot to press record there. So we already started. So sorry about that. But here we're just doing a simple little dot tree, and it's really easy. These trees are easy for beginners. They are super simple, and they are meant to be easy. You can put them on bookmarks, put them on cards, and use them for whatever gifting ideas you have this season. This sketchbook that I'm using is my 100% cotton paper Strathmore sketchbook. I got this off Amazon, and I do like the paper somewhat. It's just very thin. I'm trying to love it, and at this point, I just want to get through the sketchbook. So we're going to be painting as much as we can here. These trees are simple, easy, and fun, and mostly triangular. So this one here is a little bit scuffled, and I'm just dragging the brush in diagonal strokes. Very, very easy. They're not meant to be complicated or detailed. They're just fun. Something of my favorite things to do is just have fun and play and just have a feel for whatever feels right in the moment. So adding these little decorations, and it's super fun. They're quite bright, they're lovely. And adding in a little bit of yellow here. For the spread here, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just going for it. I'm not thinking too much, and that is one of the best ways to practice your art or your practice in painting or sketching or drawing, is just to pick a subject and just go for it in as many ways as you can. Painting something in many different ways gives you the practice and the freedom to explore the subject some more. And as we go through this practice, you'll see the trees change, and some of them that I did later on I really, really loved. So the ones in the beginning were a little bit rough around the edges, and then they got better as my hand warmed up and I got more freedom and more confidence with these trees. Sometimes it's not always about the perfection, it's just about the fun and the freedom and the slow brush strokes, moving slowly but fast and not really thinking too much, but letting the brush do the work. It's one of my favorite practices. So that's the one thing about painting, is when you're painting, I want you to think about relaxing. It's not always about the perfection, and just getting it down on the paper and getting the ideas out of your head is where the freedom and the love for painting really goes. Because you're just painting shapes. There's no right or wrong. It's not so serious. It's just fun. This tree turned out really well. I actually really like it. I just skipped around with the paintbrush using all kinds of different greens and then dotting in these yellow and red little light ball things that give the tree some character and say, hey, Christmas. So this was really, really fun. I love this one actually. But as we move on to the next one, you'll see they get really fun. This tree here started turning out quite traditional looking, and I'm just using the point of the brush to spray these types of leaves out and just go very thinly with it and make it sort of light and very scraggly looking, and sort of also keeping a cone shape. Like, that's the idea with these trees. You want to think about a cone shape the whole time so that you can get the tree to look like a tree. So adding in the darker bits as the underneath, like shadowy bits of the leaves, and then a little bit darker at the bottom because they are generally darker underneath. So that gives it the bit of dimension, and then also leaving some white space. Here's another little triangular shape one. This one turned out a little bit more stylized, and I really love the fun part of it. You don't always need to paint realistically for something to actually look quite cool. And as I went on with this practice, I found that painting very loosely and just very stylistically, is that a word? Stylized, or is it abstract? I don't know. Which one is it? Stylistic, abstract, fun, easygoing, really not serious. It was fun. So a little bit of the top there, I added in a darker bit, and then I put in a trunk here. So I thought that was also fun. It just grounded it a little bit. Triangles. This one I wanted to also create some fun. So a triangle and then a little bit of a darker green for the next tier. It turned out a little bit skew. I do like the fun of it, but maybe I should have drawn it first. I don't know. I don't draw that much, so I just go in with the paint. I like doing that. Most people draw first, and I probably should. It gives a base of something and lines to work within. I do like it this way, and that's something that I found fun about my watercolor practice and my painting practice. Is it was hard work at first, just going in with the paint and not thinking about what I'm actually doing. Filling in these pages and committing myself to 2-page spread and then making sure that I'm adding in lots of different elements gives me the variety, and it's also given me fun, because when you're painting one painting, it feels like there's so much pressure on it to make it amazing, or to have it worked out, or to have it just be the thing. And when you're painting more than one thing, you have the freedom to just move on to the next one. And that's why sketchbooks are amazing, because they're just that fun place to play. And you have a base for something. When you want to go into a final image, you can pick out the ones that you found to be the best, and you can recreate them without the stress of wondering how it's going to turn out. Because essentially you've already done it, and you sort of know how it's going to turn out in the end. This was one of the trees that I loved as well. Just this thick stylistic trunk going through the middle, and then these really easygoing leaves coming out of the side with these branches, and this yellow stylized star. Very sketchy looking, and adding in these little lights all over the place also just gives it that festive feel. And then just dotting in some red and some yellow. So these are the colors that I worked with, and I worked with the red and the yellow because yellow is an analogous color of green, so it sits right next to it on the color wheel, and then the red is the opposite color, so it's the one that stands opposite on the color wheel, and it just gives it that little something extra. Here I went in with some upside down hearts, and this one turned out to be super cool. It's not what I would have expected it to be, and I actually kind of love it. So I went in with a lighter yellow color at the top, a mid green, and then a darker green at the bottom, and then a thin trunk at the bottom there. And then just did a little bit of a spray, finished it up, and it's super cool. It's fun, it's easygoing, and that's what I loved. So as you're working through a practice like this, don't worry too much about the marks you are making and how they look and how they're turning out. Don't think about it too much. Just hang in there, grab the next color, grab the next idea, and just go with it. Because this is what we're going to do the whole time. So here we have a cone shape, and I'm just dabbing in the color on the side. And then let's go in with some stylized middle branches. I mean, a tree wouldn't look like this in normal life, so that's why it's also fun. And Christmas is about fun, so it's just about going with the flow, just seeing where it takes you. I wanted to be simple with this practice, and I didn't want to think too much either. I just wanted some fun, so it is what it is. I loved how these cone-shaped Christmas trees came out. They're fun and they're perfect for Christmas cards. So if you're making your own Christmas cards this season, why not try one of these ideas? Your family will love them, I'm sure. And they're really easy. They're fun. And also, like, easy for anyone to do. It's an easy practice. And anyone can do this. So I'm just filling in the sides with a little bit of a dark color, darker green. It's a turquoise type of green. And then just with the lighter color going back again and just adding in this little bit of texture. My little easygoing star at the top, the trunk at the bottom, and that's fun. Look at that. That is so cool. Okay, we're doing the last one here. So this one I wanted to do a little bit extra. So stem down the middle, and I'm going to go with these branches. Just simple, easy. And I'm just letting the brush do the work. A little bit similar to one of the first ones that we did, but I'm making sure to leave some white in the middle so it gives it that contrast and that dimension. And as I work through it here with the branches, I'm just, again, letting the brush do the work, dabbing the colors around, and going easy with it. Just filling it in, and it's about the process. It can slow you down, it can just help you relax, and that's what these spreads have been doing for me. They just help me relax. In the end, this one turned out to be my favorite one. I also alternated the colors a little bit. So when I went into my palette, I didn't go in with exactly the same shade, and this gave it dimension. And just putting down these colors, going a little bit this way, a little bit that way, it was super fun. So if any of your trees go wrong, don't be stressed out about it. Just keep on going. Each tree is different, and this is obviously not real life, so they don't need to be perfect. It's just fun. Painting in a non-realistic way is a great way to relax while painting, because it's not perfection. It doesn't have to be perfection. We're not going for perfection. We're going for fun. And at the end of the day, they turned out really cute. I love how they turned out. I'm going to finish this off with a star at the top. And I'm going to add in my color of my red and little bits of spray, or whatever little decoration you want to do at the end of the day. It's your tree. There's a little bit of a splatter. I don't know if this ruined it or not, but it actually doesn't matter because it turned out well in the end. I wanted to give this one a little bit of a base of green. A little bit darker over there. Adding in a little bit of dimension. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And that is it. This is the 2-page spread of all the different Christmas trees. Pick one for yourself, paint it out, pick 2 pages, and I will see you in the next one because these were super fun to do. Did you like this video? Comment Christmas tree if you're still here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!